Well, good afternoon. Happy Stampers. My name is Judi Anderson from judistamps.com, and I'd like to welcome you to my Happy Stamping Studio. I am so sorry that I am a little bit late today, but I got on to present this, and my Facebook was disconnected, and I had to go through multiple steps and stuff. So it's a little delayed today, but hopefully you're going to make it. I want to welcome those of you watching on Facebook and then those of you watching on YouTube. Whether you're a live viewer or on replay, say hi. Let me know where you're coming from and let me know what the weather is like. We are cold here in the Chicagoland area, and we got a little bit of snow this morning, but it was light and fluffy. So my husband went out and was shoveling, and my neighbor came over, believe it or not, with his leaf blower and was blowing the snow off our sidewalk. So they got the job done, but I stayed in where it was nice and warm. It's a little bit chilly in my studio today, but we'll get through this. So today I wanted to bring you a technique that I used years ago. And I used to sew. I did some quilting, not a whole lot, but I did some quilting in my younger years. And this technique I did with some card making when I did a quilt card class years ago. And I had a couple questions about doing some quilt cards. So I thought, well, you know what? Why not come on and show you guys this design? So I'm going to flip the camera around. So if you get seasick, blink, and so you don't get dizzy. And we're going to get started. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to be using the With You in Mind stamp set. This is a new stamp set found in our new January to April mini catalog. And it is one that I am using a lot. Just love it. I am bringing that together with our Wildflower Birthday Designer Series paper. And in this pack of paper, you get these die cuts, which simply punch out. And as you can see, I've been using them a lot. These will make your card creations a little bit easier. And this is a specialty paper that has some gold embossing in it. Makes it beautiful. It has things for birthdays, celebrations, balloons, beautiful florals. You can even make some wonderful bridal cards with this, baby shower cards with this. I just have found that this is just a fantastic set of paper. And then you get some specialty paper in here, double-sided Designer Series paper with that gold embossing on it. So that's one side. And then the stripes on the other side. And then some florals with like a soft background. And I found it very interesting that they use blueberry bushel in their color choices for this paper. The other colors that are in this paper, so you know, are the blueberry bushel, old olive, peach pie, pool party, pretty in pink, and soft sea foam. And then, of course, the gold embossing in this, the gold, which makes this just beautiful. I love this soft leaf pattern here. Sorry, my lighting is a little bit off. I didn't bring all my lights over today. And then we have this floral, and you can see that glimmer of that gold. And then a gingham, and I love ginghams. Okay, and this one is a fun sheet here. This one has tags on it, or you could even use this for layers on your cards. And what you would do, it is done here. You cut it at 4 inches here, and then that strip of tags will be cut off. And then if you turn it and then cut it at 4 inches here, I believe that's 4 inches. Let me make sure. No, I'm sorry, 3.5 inches on this side, 3.5 inches, I believe, on that side. And that's going to leave you with the center. And then you can go and cut these in pieces. So that, and this piece you could fold, you know, you could cut it here and fold that one in half. So you have a front and a back and an inside for a gift tag. but I am just loving that. And then this side is, sorry, kind of a daisy-like pattern. I think this is a really cute pattern. We're going to be using that pattern today. Okay, I am also using my eyelet embossing folder today. And then I have pulled out some adhesive back dots for days. There are some embellishments that go with this, but I love these because they have the colors that are in this paper. In particular, the soft or the yeah, pool party. And even the yellow ones will go with it. So we're going to see what we're going to use today. You guys get to vote on that. And then I have cut some pieces. Now, I have cut these into 4 pieces. And when I cut this, I wanted, and then when I put this together, I'm going to want to make sure that some of that blueberry bushel is showing. I am going to lower this a little bit because it seems like it's a little bit far away. So give me just a second here. There we go. There we go. A little bit closer so you can see the patterns a little bit better. Push this out a little bit so that when I am creating today, I am creating in my area and not off to the side. And then I have cut out another 4 squares the same size with this paper. And you could use either, now this is the back side of those tags, remember? So I did cut up one of the tags because I didn't want to cut up my designer series paper because, well, actually it is the back side of those tags. And I thought, okay, how can I do this? So I cut one tag out and then cut that up. And this has got the gingham. So you could use either side here, but I chose the floral because I thought it was interesting that they paired the blueberry bushel with the peach pie. Then I have 2 squares here that we're going to be putting together. I will be posting this on my blog so that you have the measurements over there. Then I have a piece of basic white, a layer of the peach pie, and then my card base, which is the blueberry bushel. Now, we're going to go ahead and burnish the score line and go down. Okay. And I am going to go ahead and let's do our stamping first. So I decided I wanted to make this a thinking of you card. Now, we could use blueberry bushel or the peach pie. I am actually going to use the blueberry bushel just because I could even use old olive. I just think the blueberry bushel will show up a little bit more than the peach pie. But this is where I could put a third color in here, which would probably be the soft sky. Or I'm sorry, the pool party. Okay, I'm going to put this towards the bottom down here and just stamp that really nice and hard. There we go. And see, so it doesn't look quite as dark there as it does in your ink pad. And this is a color I don't use very often, but when I do, I just love it. The blueberry bushel, it's got a little bit of a hint of purple to it. Okay, so now I am going to pull out my cut and emboss machine, and we're going to run this through the eyelet embossing folder. Okay, I just love this look. I like to line it up right here down towards the bottom on that line, and then I center it left to right, but that way I know it's straight in my embossing folder. Pull out my cut and emboss machine, and we're going to use platform 1. Now I'm so close you can't see everything. Platform 1, we're going to use an acrylic plate. I'm going to put our embossing folder through. It's sticking to my stamp, and then a second plate, and we're going to run this through. Now this should run through easily. And you know what? I didn't mark it 3D, but I had a feeling this was a 3D. So we're going to remove these plates. I've got to mark that so I remember that. We just put that right on plate 1. Use our gray plate for 3D embossing folders. And it should run through just like butter. If you get a lot of resistance, like I did at first, you want it to not run it through because you will ruin your embossing folder and possibly get it stuck in there. Okay, and so that is the look. We've got that pattern on there with the words. Okay, the rest of the card is pretty simple. So we are going to go ahead and do our layers. I'm going to get my liquid glue and my peach pie. And we're going to put that mat on the front. Okay. So, oh, my computer is giving me all kinds of warnings here. So don't forget to say hi as you come in so I can see you and say hi to you. I do keep an eye on those comments. And let me know if you have ever made a quilt or made a quilt patch, perhaps. You know, at our church, when I was younger and going through my confirmation, we did a craft time. And one of our projects was making quilts. And we were making quilts for some of our seniors and those less fortunate. And I just lost that other piece here. Okay, guys. I may have to cut another one because I don't know what happened to it. Let me just check my papers here. Okay, does this ever happen to you? Let me know. You know, you're in the middle of a project, you know you have the pieces there, and all of a sudden you lose them. And it's not like I have a lot of stuff here. My workspace is probably the cleanest it's been in months, just because we hosted our Christmas this year with our family on Christmas Eve, and we had to host it down here in my stamp studio. Okay, I lost this piece, so I am going to grab another piece. Nothing else I can do. So, oh dear, I know I just, okay, do you see my piece someplace? Or did you see it fly off somewhere? That I didn't see it go. Okay, I'm just going to grab another piece of blueberry bushel. Okay, and I need to cut that. I know I showed it to you in the beginning. And I forget what the measurement is. It's an odd measurement, 2 3/8. Okay. And it's just a square. You could actually make it any size you want. For it's going to be hard, you could make it a little bit larger. Okay, so now I'm going to take this and I am going to glue these two pieces together. So I want to do one so it's perfectly on square, and the other one I want in a diamond shape on that square. You want to leave that square, and what I'm doing is I'm lining it up to a line on my grid. So you want to do the same thing on yours. Now it is not going to be centered completely, so I need to go to the left just a little bit, because it's an 1/8 measurement, so it's not going to go on the quarters. So it's only about a 1/16. Okay, so then you decide which side of your paper you want, and this is what I decided. And when I tape these on or glue these on, you could even look, that stripe pattern is wonderful. But remember, that was on a tag, and so when you cut that tag, you got to make sure that you cut all your pieces with that in there. We're using the flower side though, so I'm only putting glue on half of my square. Okay, now there's a reason for it. So I'm going to put this one here and line it up. Okay, and I am just looking at my reveal along the edge. Okay, this edge and this edge. I'm going to turn it. Now, this one is going to go up into here. Maybe I should have gone down a little bit with that. But this is okay. And once again, I am gluing only part of it. Now, the first one I could have glued down, I believe, all the way. This one's going to go on top. I have to remember if I'm doing this right. Okay, here we go. I'll line that up there. Okay, then I'm going to alter it. I thought, okay. Now, I haven't done this in a while. Maybe all of them can be glued together. Now, this one, I want to make sure that it lines up here, okay? So you want to make sure your reveal is just about the same, okay? I have a feeling it was this bottom one that I should have not glued down there, because that one's got to be up. So let me grab, I take your pick tool. I secured the wrong side down is what I did here. So I'm going to try to get that up before the glue dries all the way. And if it dries all the way, I will show you a way to fix it. See, you know, you guys think that I don't make mistakes, but you guys know better. You've been watching me long enough. You know that I do make mistakes. I'm human, just like you guys. Let's get this. So I should have put the glued edge down to the left, not on the right side. I'm going to get this, and it's going to come off. Don't worry. I'm going to get it because it's not completely dry. So I'm just going to hold that up just like that. And that's going to be okay. Now we're going to go on with our pattern piece. And I know I want the blue to show. Remember, I talked about that. I want the blue to show. So I want to go. Oh, this is crooked. Okay. Here we go. Okay, so I want my blueberry bushel to show. So we're going to go ahead, put some glue on here. Cover that blueberry bushel up, lining it up here. And when it all comes together, it just comes together. Okay, so then we're going to do this one. And I'm lining it up to this edge here. You know, I know some people will take a ruler because they're more particular than I am, but I find just eyeballing it is fine. Okay, this one is next. Line this up and lining it with this one. Got a little bit of blue on the end. This piece didn't have much of the blueberry bushel on it. Okay, then we're going to go with this one. And up here, lining it up to that edge there. Okay, now the last piece. We need to go on top of this and under this piece, and that's why you want that glued down on the left side. And I'm going to re-glue that. So we're going to tuck this under. So I'm going to just add some glue. And this is where less is more with the glue. Because if you make an error, you can easily move it. Oh, we've got a couple people that have quilted in their days. Oh, Oops. Grace says that she used to quilt with her grandmother. How wonderful. What a memory to have. Okay. So that, and I don't even remember what this pattern is called. And there you go. Okay. Got it like that. I'm going to turn on another light just to see if that helps a little bit. Yeah, it does. And look at that gold. Now the gold isn't on all the pieces, but it does well. Now, this piece we can put off to the side. We can center it however we want. I think I don't want it balanced centered, so I am going to put it off to the side. Now I do use the liquid glue for this because of the embossing. Remember, we want to make sure that stays down. Okay, we don't want to make sure we don't go over the edge here. In fact, I'm just going to go barely over the pink or the peach pie. Okay, so quick and easy, right? Okay, so this is where we are going to put on our embellishments. And I talked about embellishments in my newsletter this week and adding them to your card. You could add them sporadically. I could actually do it in a triangle shape, and we could do one here, and one in the center here. We could, and you know what? I might do this. I might take the stamp that's in here. We have a flower stamp. This one here. I might pop that up. I might just go ahead and stamp that on a piece of white. Now I'm changing my design up already. Okay, so I'm going to grab a piece of white, small piece of basic white, and my peach pie ink. No, do you think I should do peach pie? I'm going to rely on you guys. Peach pie, or should I do the blueberry bushel, perhaps? Or I don't want to do the soft sky. I'm thinking, I'm going to stamp it in both, and then you guys tell me, because I'm going to need to cut these out. Okay, let me clean my stamp book. I'm going to do blueberry bushel next. And tell me, so Grace has told me that she not only quilted with her grandmother, but she has fond memories of her grandmother teaching her cross stitch. And they incorporated the cross stitch into their quilts. That is an awesome thing to do. In fact, this winter for Christmas, I bought a quilt that has cross stitch on it. It had cross stitch snowflakes and reindeers. So, which do you think? Do you like the peach pie for the center, or do you like the blueberry bushel? I was going with the peach pie at first because I'm going to be putting on the soft sky in the center. So, or I could even put this one in the center. I'm waiting for your votes. So which do you think? The peach pie or the blueberry bushel? Okay, we're tied right now, 2-2. We can get somebody else to vote. I'm going to grab my paper snips and I'm going to start cutting. I'm going to cut these apart. Okay, you can't claim both. Okay. Okay. Actually, the peach pie has won, and I am not going to, when I cut this out, I am not going to be cutting it all the way down. Just going to kind of go around the edges. If you have a smaller circle punch or circle die, you could cut this out with that. And you could what would be really cute would be do some faux stitching with your marker around the edge of that circle so it looked like it would be quilted, stitched on there. That would be a cute idea. I didn't plan on doing that, so I am not going to do it because it just take more time. So here we go. Now, all these products can be purchased through my online store. And don't forget, we have Celebration right now and some great papers and stamp sets in there. Okay, we're going to put that there. We're going to go ahead and add a dimensional to it. Yeah, you know, I could take and sponge the blue around the blueberry bushel around the edge. I like the way that came out. Let's get our soft sky embellishment. Okay, you know what? I do want it a little bit darker. So I'm going to grab my dark blueberry bushel. Oops, that's peacock. Oh, we don't have a blueberry bushel. Oh my gosh, what am I going to do? Let's try Azure Afternoon. I just want to see how this comes out. It's darker and it's going to look okay. So you take your Stamp and Blend. You can't use a marker because the marker will come off. And that, okay, so I am using the Azure Afternoon blend, dark, and see how that coordinates. It doesn't, the color doesn't have to be right on for your embellishments. So we're going to go right there. Okay, now I am going to add two more. So I am going to go over the yellow, the Daffodil Delight, with my peach pie. Now, you're not going to see a big difference, but it carries on that peach tone. So we are going to do one of those and another Azure Afternoon on the blue. So yeah, so if you don't, oh, Grace says she never would have thought of this. Yeah, so if you don't have an embellishment that goes with, but you have your Stamp and Blend, let it dry just a little bit. You can always use your Stamp and Blend. Okay, we're going to put this one here. I need to clean my Take Your Pick tool. So I will take, I actually should have put that up a little bit, but this will do. Some rubbing alcohol or some, hand sanitizer and clean that off. Okay, so there we go. There's this card here. Hope you guys like it. Isn't it? This is just a bright cherry card, don't you think? And how beautiful is that? And it blends, and probably two colors you wouldn't necessarily put together. I have a tendency with peaches using a lighter blue, a medium to light blue, and not the dark blue. So I hope you enjoyed today. And until we meet again, everybody, happy stamping.